Yay, the kids are finally asleep.
So do you feel like...
Playing a game?
I've got a feeling a boss fight's coming up.
Ooh, I just got wrecked.
Headshot, baby.
Ooh, it's your turn to get the baby.
So are you up to the challenge?
Run, 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 run.
And we're dead.
That's when I realized I have no idea what I'm doing.
GG. Welcome back to another episode of the Gamer Parents Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm joined by my wonderful wife, Joanne.
Hi there.
If you're new here, Joanne and I are a married couple. We have 2 kids, ages 4 and 2. We are parents who game and gamers who parent. This is episode number 60.
Oh my gosh, it's the big 60, guys.
Can you believe we've been doing this for 60 weeks-ish?
Yeah.
Give or take a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. How far we've come, huh?
Yeah, it's fun. I like celebrating every episode, and every milestone is a cool one for me.
True.
But as usual, we'll kick things off with our weekly update in life and games. So, Joanne, what's been happening this week?
So this week is a bit slow. We're not doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff with the kids, and even in gaming itself, I think I've been taking it slower.
Like there's always at least a little bit of craziness, including this last week.
Really? Okay. Well, for me, I don't think it has been as crazy as the weeks before, you know. For Wacky Science Wednesday, I did something fun with Dylan where we learn about non-Newtonian fluids, which is pretty much like quicksand. An example.
Well, it's basically a homemade version of something else. I thought it has a different name.
Oobleck.
Oobleck, okay.
It's called an oobleck. But yeah, I mean, in real life situations, quicksand would be the best example that's closest to non-Newtonian fluid that Dylan's learning. So I use cornstarch and water to show him that mixture itself would be like hardened when it's compacted or compressed, any pressure applied on it. But then when it's just like not compacted, it would be like a liquid. So yeah, it's pretty interesting and messy, to be honest.
Yeah, and you add it. So was it just water and cornstarch?
Yes, it's optional if you want to add some coloring, but I would suggest to add bath coloring drops, not food coloring, because food coloring really stains everything. So
yeah, so I thought it was cool. So you guys did it on Wednesday during the day when I was at work. Mm-hmm. And when I got home, I got to have a little bit of fun with it myself with Dylan afterwards. Mm-hmm. And it was cool because when you're not touching it and you leave it alone, it's kind of looks like it's hardened. Mm-hmm. And then you can kind of dig into it, like start to move it around a little bit, and then it kind of turns into like a goo.
Yep.
So like it was really like wild in terms of sensory.
Yeah. So it's something that would keep the kids really busy and entertained.
Oh yeah, Dylan loved it. He got his hands all messy again with all that stuff. Blue goo all over him.
Yeah. So that was one thing that we got to do, something interesting with the kids every Wednesday as usual. And then my friend, this sweet old lady that I've met and known for a bit, she passed away at the ripe age of 84, but the news kind of like took me by surprise because she was someone who was inspiring to me. She's traveled to 128 countries, which really humbled me. I've only been to 17 so far, and just meeting her and listening to her adventures, and she's a mother of 6. So yeah, she's really inspiring in that sense. You know, she says like, you know, never stop wondering, and you know, the whole world is like an adventure to be explored and stuff like that. So, and
I mean, with the number of countries that you said that she's been to, it's more than one for every year of life, right? Like it's almost as if she never stopped traveling, or that at least did a lot of traveling. Yeah. And obviously someone who's seen a lot and who's lived a lot and probably had a lot of really good things to say. And that kind of seemed to be evident from how you talk about her, although I never met her myself.
Mm-hmm. Kind of remind me of the old lady in Up, you know, the cartoon Up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's kind of like that, very optimistic, full of life. And she used to say, like, every person that she's met is a flower in her garden, and she loves nurturing and pouring love into people that she meets. I forgot to mention, she worked with Continental Airlines before. I don't think they're around anymore, but yeah, she gets to travel for free, so.
Oh, that explains a good part of it.
Yeah, and she's been married to her husband for like 65 years, and just talking to her, kind of made me feel like there's a goal, there's hope, Kevin.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really rare to see someone so in love with their spouse, even after 65 years. And when her husband passed last year, she was telling me that if I do pass away, if I do go, it's because of a broken heart, because I want to be with him. And it was just so sweet, something like you hear in movies and in a novel, but this is real life. So
that she was married for 65 years?
Yes, she was.
And I think a lot of people, when you hear that about someone, especially if you're younger, you just think, oh, okay, well, they're old, so they've been married a long time, or they got married a long time ago. But then after being married for a while, not only is it that, not only did they get married a long time ago, but they've been married like for that many years, right?
Yeah.
Which now that we have a much better understanding of marriage and what it takes to make that work, that is definitely a feat in itself, right? To have made it so long as a couple. Marriage is tough. It's a lot of work. So that just want to celebrate that.
True. I love you, by the way.
No, I love you too.
And this week also I got myself an Eevee hat. Eevee is a Pokemon for those who do not know. Kevin and I, we went to the mall and I didn't have any plans on getting anything, and then I saw this Eevee hat and I got so excited because it's like kind of like one of my favorite Pokemons, like Eevee, Jigglypuff, Chansey.
All the super cute ones.
The cute ones, yeah. Anyways, I saw the Eevee hat and I just like told Kevin, I went crazy. I'm like, oh, I need it. Can I try it? Can I have it? I felt like I was the kid going out today.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much the only thing we got, but it was definitely worth it. Eevee hat with the little ears and everything.
Yes, it has its ears.
It's cute. There's a picture of that on Twitter as well, if you follow us on Twitter and want to see this Eevee hat for itself.
But that's about it for my life in real life. And in gaming itself, I think I did a bit of World of Warcraft. I also did some Halo with you. We streamed that.
Yep. What did you think of Halo? Because this was your first time playing any Halo game. And we jumped into the OG Halo, Combat Evolved. It was actually the anniversary version or whatever, so it was upgraded quite a bit.
Yeah.
But what did you think of the game in general so far?
So far, I've enjoyed it. I mean, apart from just getting confused on who's the human and who's the alien at first, because some of them you can't tell because they're kind of like in a robot armor, except those grunts. Grunts are pretty obvious. I mean, like the elites. Yeah. But yeah, I like it. I think it's easier than Borderlands or Outriders. Not as complicated, Yeah. No trees. Are there any trees? Like skill trees and stuff?
Nope.
No, right?
No, I mean, it's pretty simple. The campaign, you just go through and you can only carry 2 weapons at a time. And then, your grenades and stuff. And
no crazy inventory, backpack stuff, all that.
Exactly.
No. Yeah, so I thought it was pretty fun. And I'm enjoying it. There's a funny video of Kevin knocking me over with his what do you call that? Warthog.
Yeah, so it kind of brings back memories of all those older games where if you basically touch a moving vehicle, it means instant death for you. And that's one where we were hopping in the Warthog, and I think I moved it a tiny bit while you were trying to get in, and then you just instantly died.
I died just like that.
Which was totally unintentional, I swear.
Yeah. I think you're just trying to get back at me for that friendly fire I did to you.
Yeah, that video is also on Twitter if you want to check that out. That was kind of a funny moment of us playing the campaign together.
Yes. And then I got a bit of car sickness when Kevin was driving Warthog. Yeah,
Joanne you're one that gets motion sickness really easily.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I mean, this is not the first game that we've played where you've gotten motion sickness like that.
That's true.
It happens to you in quite a few games, unfortunately, but just have to try and avoid it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just hard because someone else is driving and then you're like aiming. I didn't get that in Outriders, I don't think, or in...
Sure. I don't think there was really any vehicles or anything.
I think you drove better than that. The Warthog is like you're drifting a lot. You're like spinning, you know?
Yeah. Anyone who's played at least their earlier Halos, I'm sure it's probably changed quite a bit since then. It's like the traction on those things are so weird. Like if you just turn a little bit, you're just drifting.
Yeah.
And it's not very smooth.
So yeah, that was fun. I mean, I would give it a rating if we played more of it. Maybe next week.
We will. Let's play a little bit more and maybe we do a review of it. We'll see.
Definitely. It's been a while since we've done a game rating. So
yeah, we kind of dropped off on those quite a bit. So maybe we'll do one every once in a while. Maybe that'll be the next one. We'll see.
Yeah, but that's it for my life in gaming as well. So what about you? How's your IRL and gaming life been?
Yeah, I'll add a few things for life. One would be that yesterday we converted our 2-year-old's bed from a crib to a toddler bed.
Yeah.
So essentially we took out like one of the big rails that would essentially stop her from getting out of bed. And now she just kind of has like a little guardrail thing that she can climb in and out of her bed on her own.
Yeah.
Now. So we're giving her that freedom to get out of bed whenever she wants. And I mean whenever she wants, even in the middle of the night. And that was yesterday. So last night she did pretty good. Overall, I was proud of her.
Yeah.
She, we tucked her in, turned on her nightlight, shut her door, and then a few minutes later we started like checking her room camera so we can kind of see what she's up to. And it's funny because the first thing you saw was she was like standing in the middle of her room out of her bed, right?
Yeah.
Just like, didn't look like she was doing anything. It's just like she was like testing the water. So like, well, I can get out of bed on my own and just like stand here in my room, not be in bed. And then you see her like walking around the room, kind of just like going to different areas, but like didn't really seem like she was doing anything.
Yeah.
And then it's literally like 20 or 30 minutes of this.
Yeah, just exploring her room in the dark, I guess.
Well, she had like one little light on, so I mean, it definitely was dark in her room. And then eventually she just like went back to her bed. So I'm excited. I'm proud of her that she went back to her bed. She didn't like venture outside of her room, or like go try and find us or go wake up her brother, or anything like that. She did go back to her bed by herself. So, and that was just her first night of it this way. And it's also nice just being able to be like, hey, Faith, go get in bed, or walk out of bed. You don't have to like carry her in and out every time now. So that'll be good. And so far so good. So tonight is the second night.
Yeah.
And we laid her down 1 hour ago.
Yeah, about 1 hour ago.
About an hour ago. And she hasn't come out, so I think she must be better.
Yeah. The funny thing was this morning, she didn't get out of bed either. She just sat there until I came in to get her. So that was new. I thought for sure she would come out when it was daybreak and come into our room and stuff like that. But let's not jinx it.
Yeah, normally she's like yelling for you to, one of us to like come get her in the mornings after she wakes up. So that was good that she just stayed in bed and just waited for you.
Yeah, we don't need another alarm.
Also in life this week, we threw in an extra stream on Thursday. We don't normally stream on Thursdays, but we decided to do something a little bit extra this week, and that is we had a Pokemon card stream, or essentially a stream where I just went through all of my old Pokemon cards from the late 90s and maybe early 2000s, from when like Pokemon pretty much first came to the US, and I was, probably 8 or 9 years old. And I was really into Pokemon at that time and collected a bunch of the cards, have a bunch of binders still, and I pulled those out and kind of went through them and showed them on stream, on camera, so people kind of got to reminisce a little bit about all the old Pokemon cards that I still have. And I love getting those out and going through those every once in a while. just to kind of remember that time as a kid, like that blissful time, like when I was just collecting cards and, putting sets together and, looking at all the holographics and cards that like I haven't seen in a little while.
And you even had those Japanese cards too.
Yeah, and some in Japanese, which was kind of cool. It was fun. They're always like fun to look at too, like the illustrations and how everything looks and just the holographic cards in general. Although I have to say the cards that they have nowadays do look really cool also. But yeah, that was a fun stream.
Yeah, it was. And then you're gonna do one again for...
So I also have a fairly big Yu-Gi-Oh card collection. And so I was thinking about doing the same thing, but with Yu-Gi-Oh cards instead of Pokemon cards. Okay. I really like both series. And yeah, that one will probably be next with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Interesting. And just FYI, the Pokemons have different names in Japanese, so...
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Did you know that just from looking at the cards, or...?
That, and also remember there was that TikToker that I was watching, the one that goes English, Japanese. English.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she kind of like say Pokemon names in English and Japanese are different. So.
Oh, I guess that makes sense because a lot of the ones in English, at least, like kind of make sense with what they are, right? Like Charmander is Char, right?
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. So Pikachu, I don't really get. That one doesn't really make sense to me, but a lot of them do kind of make sense in English, at least. Transitioning over to gaming this last week, still on the God of War slow roll. It's very slow roll. Nothing really new there. A little bit of progress. Still playing on the hardest difficulty and just trying to push through it.
Yeah.
In World of Warcraft, they've added like a whole new zone that you have access to, and you can do dailies, and it opened up like more of the main storyline.
Oh.
Which has been cool. It's kind of added one more thing to do, which is nice because kind of felt like there wasn't a whole lot to do right now.
Oh, now
besides Mythics.
Now you reminded me. I have to go do that.
And you haven't done much of that yet.
No, I was doing the weeklies that time. So
yeah, and I like the new area because there's new dragon riding glyphs, which are kind of like these things that are scattered around, and you have to try and reach them, and they're kind of fun because it means you do more dragon riding, which is like kind of my favorite part of the game, basically flying around the map. So I only got like one night of going through the new area, but I was having fun with it so far. And still more Marvel Snap, of course. I kind of switched to a new deck that I'm having a lot of success with, which mostly revolves around Devil Dino and Mystique, which work really well together, and a few other cards. But if you're interested, let me know. I can share that deck with anyone who plays Marvel Snap because I'm finding a lot of success with it, and hopefully I can hit a decent rank with it. But yeah, other than those games and Halo with you, maybe a little bit of Warzone here and there, but that's about it this week. Didn't really play anything on the Switch at all this week. But yeah, I guess that's it.
Cool. So Kevin, what about the new game releases for this week?
Yeah, so new game releases this week. We have Remnant from the Ashes on Switch. I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Tachia on PS5, PS4, and PC. Have a Nice Death on Switch and PC. Atelier Ryza 3, Alchemist, and the End of the Secret Key on PS5, PS4, and Switch. Storyteller on Switch and PC. And lastly, Resident Evil 4 Remake on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, and PC. That's it for new games. Any of those you want to play?
Have a Nice Death sounds interesting.
I know. I've heard some things about that one, and I feel like it's one I need to look into some more. But I have seen some advertisements for it, and I know some people are excited for it, and it's a Switch game, so yeah. Who knows?
And Resident Evil 4 Remake. I'm excited to see what that one looks like.
Yeah, I know a buddy of mine, Nick, really likes Resident Evil games, and I know he's been excited for that one, so I need to check in and see how that's going. But Joanne, how about new Game Pass games this week?
There is also only one new Game Pass game this week, and that is Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom on console and PC.
I have no idea what that is. and I have not checked it out.
Neither have I.
Moving on, we do have something new that we're doing this week.
And that is...
So we decided to ask around on Discord and Twitter to see if anybody had any questions for us that we could answer on the podcast, and we did get quite a few.
Yeah.
So going to the Discord, we're just going to go in order here. We have Enjoy Your Burrito, who asked, how has your love of video games adapted since having children? Do you want to start with that one?
Sure. I think our love for video games stay the same. Like, we have loved it and we still love it. Mm-hmm. The only thing that's changed is how we pick the video games we want to play. And I think that it's related to time. Since we only have like a couple hours a night to play, we really got to pick and choose. Before kids, we could play stuff like, let's say, for example, not saying that we've played it, but Power Wash Simulator, right?
Sure.
It's a very long game and it's on power washing stuff. Before kids, I would totally have been like, playing that kind of game and just out of curiosity and stuff. But with how little time we have for gaming now, our love for games is the same, but we just have to pick which one we want to do because we can play it all, unlike before.
Sure. Yeah, to kind of add my own experiences with that, before kids and like before meeting you, I could easily play video games for like 8 hours a day, right? Outside of school or work, I used to play a lot more video games. And I specifically remember pretty often like feeling really bored because either I've just played so much of the same games and I didn't really have anything new to play or that I was interested in just because I had spent so much time playing them. Whereas now, since like you mentioned, we have maybe, 1 or 2 hours a night to play games, and not even every night.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like the bar has been raised and we have to be like extra picky about what we play. Like, I'm sure Power Wash Simulator works for some people.
Yeah.
But like, maybe get to play a few games a week. I mean, just look at how long it's taking me to beat God of War.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm still adapting, right? We've had kids for 4 years now, and I'm still kind of figuring out how to most efficiently play video games for me. And I've learned I'm never going to play a game on the highest difficulty like I am God of War, just because it makes it take so much longer, and I don't have that kind of time. It's already been probably 2 or 3 months that I've been playing God of War, and I'm still not done. So yeah, I'm not doing that again. I've learned my lesson, but I've already gone this far with this game. I have to stick it out.
Just FYI, Elden Ring doesn't have like difficulty levels, and I've heard that it is more frustrating than give me God of War in God of War. So
yeah, I might have to play something else in between. I don't know. Yeah, Elden Ring is probably going to take me a long time too.
I know. Yeah, but yeah, I think the love did not change, but we just gotta pick. Can't do it all.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, next we have a question from Hollywood Bones. All right, this is a quick fire one. He gave us 5, so we'll start with the first, which is favorite drink. Go.
All right, Dr. Pepper.
Root beer. Favorite TV show. Go.
The Office.
Friends.
Fair. Favorite movie.
The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Wild Hogs.
Favorite shirt. Go.
That's a tough one. I didn't know if I had a favorite shirt. Probably
Your Charmander one.
maybe my Charmander shirt. It's super comfy and has Charmander on it and Charizard on the back, so it's pretty cool, I have to say.
I do not have a favorite shirt.
What's your favorite shirt of mine?
Ooh, probably the Charmander one, actually. You look cute in that.
Okay, that's fair. Favorite song?
Ooh, this is hard. I'm gonna go with Born to Die by Lana Del Rey.
And I will go with Schism by Tool, because what can I say? I know the pieces fit. That's a lyric from the song, by the way. So
I got that.
So on Discord, we also have some more questions by Starcatchers. And she's asking, what's your dream vacation?
You want to go first?
I can go first. My dream vacation would definitely be a cruise, and we would be going someplace tropical, somewhere with a beach. And I just love cruises because everything's included between entertainment and food. And I love food that I eat that's already included and not to pay for.
Fair enough. That's so you.
And the entertainment is just really fun. I love the comedy shows and the movie nights, and there's just so much you can do. If you've never been on a cruise and you're okay out on the water, it's a great choice for a vacation.
Fair enough.
What about you?
For me, I would say kind of like a backpacking trip, either around Europe or around Asia. That way we could hop from country to country and experience different cultures. Yeah, just you and me though, not with the children. Just
backpacking sounds like a lot of work to me. That sounds tough.
Okay, looks like I will be going.
Can we just go? Can we just like go on a cruise where people take care of us and we don't have to do anything? Those are two very different vacations.
I know. Which are we have to give and take, Kevin?
We can just bring our backpacks on a cruise ship. It's fine.
Hey, it's like that Secret Life of Walter Mitty. So
yeah.
Next question by Starcatchers. What's a new game you're looking forward to?
And I realized a lot of the games I'm looking forward to are actually on Switch because they're from series that I haven't been able to play because we just recently got a Switch. And I feel like we're doing some catching up in terms of Nintendo games. So one that I'm looking forward to this year would be Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Since we were late to the Switch party, we're still kind of playing through Breath of the Wild as we kind of get into Switch playing. And that's kind of one that I'll be looking forward to picking up next. Also, another Switch game, Pikmin 4 is supposed to come out, I think, in July. And I really liked Pikmin 1 and 2 back in the GameCube days. I really liked those games. I thought they were really cool, like controlling your own little army of little plant people that all can do different things. I thought that was a really neat idea for a game, and I really liked those ones in the past, so I'd love to check out how Pikmin 4 is.
Okay.
Any new games that you're looking forward to?
Yes, Final Fantasy 16. That would be released probably in June of this year, I think.
Okay, very good. Yeah, Final Fantasy... 15 came out a long time ago, so I feel like there's definitely a lot of hype around this one.
Yep, that's for sure.
And Star's third and final question was if we have any personal hobbies or goals that we would like to achieve or pick up. Any thoughts from you?
Yes, so personal goal is to finish decking out, getting this game room ready for setup wars.
Right.
It's okay if we don't win anything, but if we put in the entry, hopefully we could go somewhere.
Just to be featured would be really cool.
Yeah.
Right, but that's not going to happen unless you push for it and enter or reach out at least and try to get out there. So it's fun. I think we both really enjoy working on the game room and adding things to it and moving things around and trying to make it look, just one step closer to some of those amazing setups that we have. Obviously we're not there yet, but we do get to have a lot of fun with kind of building out our game room. But for me, I have a goal that I've been working on for a while, and it's because my vehicle is currently 16 years old and I am saving for a new vehicle. But really the story behind that is the truck that I drive now is the same one that I drove when I first started driving 16 years ago, and it's been the vehicle I drive every day since then. And I know at some point I'll want to get something different, and right now I'm just saving to try and make that happen. So just trying to make good financial decisions to hopefully meet that goal in the next year or so. I don't have a direct timeline on it, but I'm just trying to get into a position where we could pick up a new vehicle.
Yeah. And then obviously you got me the family car, right? When I was pregnant
was 5 years ago?
Yeah. It was about 5 years ago. It's almost 5 years. Yeah. So that's the only car that our kids are able to ride in as of now. And when Kevin gets another car, then hopefully that means we have two cars that the kids would be able to enjoy. So
All right, final question we have from Wolf in Discord, and that is, which one of you had the initial idea to start the podcast?
I would say it's Kevin.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I had maybe started listening to podcasts like 6 months before we started, so not really that long. And I kind of found a few that I fell in love with and was kind of to the point where I was like, that's really cool that, these guys do their own podcast and they talk about video games. And I was like, it'd be cool if I had something like that. Mm-hmm. And around that same time, we were trying to figure out things that we could do together that had nothing to do with, taking care of our kids or work and all the stuff that we would stress out about. Mm-hmm. So we kind of came up with the crazy idea to do a podcast together. And I think I was kind of the one to originally bring that up, but you were basically immediately on board and wanted to try it out. And here we are, 60 episodes later, over a year later, still doing this and making changes along the way to how we do things and what we're doing. Mm-hmm. It's been a crazy adventure.
It has. Something that we could laugh about 65 years in the future.
Yes, if we're still alive 65 years from now, I think I'll be lucky. You'll probably still be running around. Well, let's let everybody know where they can find us. Once a week, we do a live stream over on Twitch, and that is at twitch.tv/gamerparentspod, where you could find us every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, playing usually a variety of games. Lately, it's been a lot of World of Warcraft, but that is also where we had that Pokemon stream, and hopefully sometime soon an upcoming Yu-Gi-Oh stream. You can also find us over on YouTube as Gamer Parents Podcast, the channel name over there. You could follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/gamerparentspod.
Or Instagram at gamer_parents_podcast.
If you could give us a like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is, wherever it is, we would greatly appreciate it. The best place to come and hang out with us would be on the Discord. The link for that is in the episode description. If you would like to join, please do so and come hang out with us. We are typically in those voice chats most nights, so if you ever want to swing by, say hello, chat for a little bit about life for games, we would love to have you. But that wraps up episode 60.
Woohoo!
That's all we have for you this time. We will catch you in the next one.
Bye!